Okay, here's a good example, and this is a common mistake with new riders. And when you're putting your helmet on, you want to make sure that it fits, but I want you to see this. See how much space is right here? That's not going to work. It's not going to protect your head like it should. You want it firm, and to get that on, you're just going to kind of tug on it a little bit. You don't want it real tight, but you don't want it choking you, but at the same time, you want it at least with a connection there. A lot of your helmets have this little snap on it, and what this snap is for is to keep that from flapping in the wind when you're doing 55 mile an hour. So you snap it right up here, and then he'll pull his helmet, pull it down just a little bit, and I want you to see how the helmet is actually kind of smashing his cheeks in a little bit, and I even sound like I have chubby cheeks right now compared to how I normally talk. But a good helmet fit, you want your cheeks to be smashed a little bit. You should still be able to chew a piece of gum without biting the insides of your cheek, but it may be a tight fit. And then also you want to make sure that you don't have any wobble. So a lot of times what I tell people to do is shake their head back and forth, left to right. And if you got an extreme amount of wobble, the helmet's too big. So get one that fits you. Helmet fit is just as important as bike fit. We've already gone over how to get on and off the bike several times. You want to make sure that you're holding your front brake when you get on. You're going to sit in the cradle of the seat. That way when you raise your legs up, the balls of your feet are going to go straight on the pegs. And what we're going to go over now is friction zone. I just showed you a little video with the audio, but we're going to go over friction zone and what it is. Friction zone is when you're letting your clutch out nice and easy. That's when your engine starts to grab. If you notice my hand placement, my wrists are down low, I can still reach the controls. Same thing, we're going to go ahead and start the bike. You want to turn the key to the on, push the power switch. Probably need to charge the battery up a little bit on this thing. We'll let it run for a little bit. As you can see, the green light's on. Put it in first gear. I want you to watch this. The bike's going to start rolling. I'm not giving it any gas. I'm just walking the bike. With 2 fingers, you're going to use your front brake to slow down or stop. You don't want to squeeze on this. We're not going to be going that fast. And right now this bike is tuned nicely enough and geared low enough, we're not even going to have to give it gas. So I want you to watch this. Here's my hand. Over here on the other side is the clutch. We're going to let it out nice and easy. See, I don't have to give it gas. This is another common mistake. When you get a brand new rider in here, they'll put their hand up too high and then they're going to do this. You don't want to do that. You don't need to do that. You can do everything from right over here. I'm going to put the bike in neutral. Put the kickstand down. We're going to turn it off. Alright, this is what we've been waiting on. Austin, go ahead and get on your bike. Make sure you remember to put your hand on the brake and smash the brake in. Step in there closer with your left leg. Throw your right leg over. Turn it the other way. Okay, the choke was on. And that's why it was revving on up. So just be careful when you're getting on and off your bike and watch and make sure that you're not hitting any controls or anything. I may have left the choke on and it finally got to the point it's warming up and the RPMs are up. But
I left that choke all the way down, right?
Yeah, it's off down here. So now your engine's running at a lower RPM. And so we'll let off the throttle because we're not going to give it any throttle. Right now what we're going to do is you're going to pull the clutch in all the way. And the one thing that I want you to be conscious of, if you get into a panic situation, you've got a kill switch right here you can hit with your right thumb. And you can also just hold the brakes down and it'll stop. It'll kill the engine, but it'll stop. But right now we're going extremely slow. We're just going to work on the friction zone. So go ahead and put it in first gear. Your right hand, I don't want it moving at all. I don't want to hear the engine RPMs go up or anything. You're going to slowly let this out nice and easy and just walk with your bike. You're going to head up, eyes up. You don't need to be looking down. There's nothing down on the controls. And just watch him as he's letting the clutch out nice and easy. He's walking the bike, and then pull it on in to stop. Pull it all the way in. Good job. And we'll do that. We'll go all the way down here to this cul-de-sac and then turn around and come back and do it some more. We'll want to get at least about 10 or 12 repetitions of just walking. Now just go straight. And the same thing, guys. We're looking at the friction zone here. We're watching how he's walking along nice and easy. You can hear the bikes running. Go ahead and pull your clutch in. Real good. Keep your eyes up. You're looking ahead where you want to go. You don't need to look down at nothing. It's all in, you're going to feel it. So go ahead. Just working on the friction zone, figuring that out, how it works, the bike. And again, these bikes are geared nice and light to where you don't even have to worry about giving it any gas right now. And gas is not what we want. Go ahead and stop. Now we're going to have to turn. So this one, same deal. You got to be real conscious when you're getting ready to turn. We're going to turn left. You don't want to give it any gas. Just go ahead and turn your wheels left and look where you want to go. Huh?
Need to lean at all?
Not really, because we're going really super slow. And that's a good question. I don't know if you could hear him. He was asking if he needed to lean the bike. He just more or less, right now we're just trying to turn it. So he's going to turn his handlebars left pretty good. Same deal. We're just going to go a nice easy pace and just walk. We want to make sure we're not going to hit this curb. He's doing really good. We put those crash bars on this morning. You guys be sure and hit the thumbs up and go check out that video as well. It'll be in the how-to section of the playlist. But we installed those this morning. Real good. You want to keep your elbows up. Start getting in a habit of keeping your elbows up, your head up, and your eyes forward. And let's do that. Go about 15 feet or so. Let it out. You can go a little bit faster if you want, but don't give it any gas. Your engine will carry you a little bit faster. And go, you know, let's get a few more practice in, and then stop, pull, let it out, stop, and do it again several times. Here in a little bit, I'll go back up into the house and go ahead and restart it. Got it restarted, but here in a little bit I don't have cones, so what I do have is a bunch of tennis balls, and we're going to use tennis balls for start points and stop points. If you cut the tennis balls in half, you're going to have basically a half a tennis ball, and it will it'll work great as markers or cones or anything else. Let's do the walking beside it a little bit more before we go with our feet up, and that's good. I mean, I like that you're willing to try. Let's practice your clutch a little bit more so that when you get ready to stop, you're not worried about what you're going to do with your feet or balance or anything like that. So good job. Let's go up here a little bit further and then turn around and come back. And again, guys, I think I already explained to you, he's got his learner's permit, so we're actually out here on a city street. We're doing this legal. I have my motorcycle endorsement, and we're keeping it safe. We're not doing anything fast or fancy. We're trying to get him acclimated to the motorcycle, the balance, the clutch. And right now, just working on the clutch. We're going to work on the brake stuff here in a little bit. But you could tell he kind of got a little excited and smashed on the front brake a little too hard. And this is what this is all about. You want to do it in a controlled environment, not in a situation where somebody's extremely scared or anything. It's a nice, easy environment to be working in. Pull it all the way in and stop. There you go. That's all right. It's going to happen. That's how you learn.
I have to neutral start, right?
You don't have to.
Yeah, I love to do
I'm gonna let it out. Working on the friction zone still. And guys, I won't bore you with a whole bunch of this. We're gonna work on this for another 30 minutes or an hour. As you can see, we've got him working on riding. He's got his feet on the balls of his feet on his foot pegs. We've got the tennis balls up as mock places to stop and go. He's got his we're aiming for these two tennis balls right here as the stopping point. You're doing real good. Just remember, you hold your legs in, keep your elbows up, your head and your eyes are always up. You don't need, your feet aren't going nowhere, and you don't need to look down. It's just like when you're walking, you're not looking at where your feet are. You know, if you look at a guy who's on a high wire at the circus, he's never looking down. He's looking at the end of the rope, all the way on the other side of the canyon or whatever he's high wire walking across. Same deal on your bike. We've got a couple of cones in here for you to make the turns around. You're going to shoot for the middle, just like when you're driving your car. You don't need to be looking down them. Once you get up to them, you're looking past them to your next set of tennis balls to go through. You're doing real good. Just remember, hold your bike with your legs, because you're going to have more grip holding your bike and steady your bike with your legs, because they're much stronger than our arms are. So you're doing really good. Okay, now that he's riding, he's got his legs up. He's sitting in the cradle where he's supposed to be. He's got his legs up tight to the tank, and he's riding through these set of cones that I have set up, actually tennis balls. But one of the next things that we want to work on is using the rear brake. And you can see he's got his foot moved up a little bit slightly forward than the balls of his feet, keeping his eyes up here, head up, eyes up, and he's going to start gradually applying his rear brake and front brake, using them in a combination. His goal is to stop here even with the tennis balls, and he did real good. So let's do it again. What we're doing now, we're still continuing working on the clutch. We're working on turning and clutch control without using much throttle, if any at all. And we're also starting to do the tighter turns, keeping our feet up. He's riding with his feet, balls of his feet on the foot pegs. He's going through his obstacles nice and clear. And then what we're doing up here is we're actually doing a turnaround. And the goal here is to keep his feet on the pegs while he's doing this tight turnaround. If you haven't looked up above, I'll put a link up above where you can go to the doing circles, because it actually is great balance practice. Keep your head up, turn where your head. Good job. Sorry if I yelled. I'll try to make that to where it's not yelling in your ear, but he's doing really good.